We're 3/4 of the way through the college football season. Yes, time really does move faster during these 3 months of the year. And this is a week that saw most of the top teams avoid the major upset, except Ohio State. And after the 29-point loss, they fall from number 2 to all the way out of our top 10. So that is a prelude. Let's head into our latest rankings. At number 10, UCF. The Knights continue to reside in the ranks of the unbeaten after more and more teams fall by the wayside. But UCF will continue to get slighted due to their schedule, and a win over a 2-5 ECU team won't help. But with the longest active win streak in the nation, they belong in our top 10. At number 9, Oklahoma. The Sooners kept it interesting for a while by letting TCU hang around, then blew the doors off the Horned Frogs by scoring the final 21 points of the game. Only 213 yards passing from Kyler Murray, but he had an efficient 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now, the Sooners have a road game at Texas Tech in 2 weeks, but can't look past a pesky Kansas State team up next. To number 8, Florida. The only loss for the Gators is against Kentucky, and that doesn't look so bad now that the Wildcats are 6-1 as well. Now, the Gators have had an off week to prepare for their biggest game of the season, a rivalry showdown against Georgia that could help decide the SEC East. Number 7, Georgia. The Bulldogs also had an open week, so both teams come in with the benefit of extra preparation. Now, Georgia's lone loss was in its last game against LSU, so they have had to sit with the sting of that for 2 weeks. But Georgia did own this game last year, ending Florida's 3-game win streak with a 42-7 beatdown. Up to number 6, Texas. A popular trend here in our power rankings, another team that did not play last week. Now, Texas has lived on the edge in its last 3 wins over Baylor, Oklahoma, and Kansas State. And as the lone unbeaten in the Big 12, the stakes and the target grows larger with each passing week. Texas has to head on the road to face Oklahoma State this weekend before returning to host West Virginia on November 3rd. To number 5, Michigan. The Wolverines literally stomped on their rival on Saturday. All right, they just stomped on their logo, but after a pregame incident with Michigan State that later led to a Michigan player cleating the Spartan logo on the field, the Wolverines backed up the talk by shutting down the Michigan State offense. The Spartans were held to just 94 yards of total offense. Think about that. They didn't even make it the length of the football field. Up to number 4, LSU. A similarly strong defensive performance from the Tigers defense gave them the 19-3 win over Mississippi State and sends LSU into its bye week before a massive showdown at home on November 3rd against Alabama. LSU picked off Bulldogs quarterback Nick Fitzgerald 4 times, but a late targeting call and ejection of their top linebacker Devin White means he'll have to sit out the first half against the Crimson Tide. Number 3, Clemson. The Tigers flourished in what some thought would be a tough test against previously unbeaten NC State, but it was over from the opening whistle in the 41-7 win. The Clemson defense forced 3 turnovers, and Trevor Lawrence threw for 308 yards. It's at Florida State this weekend, but this is the Seminoles team still in its infancy under Willie Taggart and shouldn't pose much of a threat. At number 2, Notre Dame. If the path is clear for Clemson, then it should be nothing short of an easy glide for Notre Dame. You guessed correctly, Notre Dame also had a bye this past weekend. The remaining schedule lays out for the Irish with a road game at Northwestern before a home game against Florida State, a game at Yankee Stadium against Syracuse, and then a road game against the toothless USC team. Yeah, Notre Dame will run the table and make the college football playoff. And number 1, Alabama, but you already knew that. The Tide scored 28 points in the first quarter and put up 58 on the road at Tennessee. And once again, Tua Tagovailoa didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter, and he still threw for 306 yards and 4 touchdowns. And that's a look at our Sports2Nite NCAA Football Power Rankings. Tonight's NCAA Football Power Rankings are brought to you by IHOP. Eat up every moment. You're watching Sports2Nite, San Antonio's only nightly 30-minute sportscast with exclusive sports coverage you won't find anywhere else.